Bruce Lee said, "Be like water, making its way through cracks. Do not be assertive, but adjust to the object, and you shall find a way round or through it. If nothing within you stays rigid, outward things will disclose themselves. Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle and it becomes the bottle. You put it into a teapot and it becomes a teapot. Now, water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend." This is the Constitution of China. Preamble. China is one of the countries with the longest histories in the world. The people of all nationalities in China have jointly created a splendid culture and have a glorious revolutionary tradition. Feudal China was gradually reduced after 1840 to a semi-colonial and semi-feudal country. The Chinese people waged wave upon wave of heroic struggles for national independence and liberation and for democracy and freedom. Great and earth-shaking historical changes have taken place in China in the 20th century. The Revolution of 1911, led by Dr. Sun Yat-sen, abolished the feudal monarchy and gave birth to the Republic of China. But the Chinese people had yet to fulfill their historical task of overthrowing imperialism and feudalism. After waging hard and protracted and torturous struggles, armed and otherwise, the Chinese people of all nationalities, led by the Communist Party of China, with Chairman Mao Zedong as its leader, ultimately, in 1949, overthrew the rule of imperialism, feudalism, and the bureaucratic capitalism, won the great victory of the new democratic revolution, and founded the People's Republic of China. Thereupon, the Chinese people took state power into their own hands and became masters of the country. After the founding of the People's Republic, the transition of Chinese society from a new democratic to a socialist society was effected step by step. The socialist transformation of the private ownership of the means of production was completed. The system of exploitation of man by man eliminated and the socialist system established. The People's Democratic Dictatorship, led by the working class and based on the alliance of workers and peasants, which is in essence the dictatorship of the proletariat, has been consolidated and developed. The Chinese people and the Chinese People's Liberation Army have thwarted aggression, sabotage, and armed provocations by imperialists and hegemonists, safeguarded China's national independence and security, and strengthened its national defense. Major successes have been achieved in economic development. An independent and fairly comprehensive socialist system of industry has in the main been established. There has been a marked increase in agricultural production. Significant progress has been made in educational, scientific, cultural, and other undertakings. And socialist ideological education has yielded noteworthy results. The living standards of the people have both improved considerably. Both the victory of China's new democratic revolution and the successes of its socialist cause have been achieved by the Chinese people of all nationalities, under the leadership of the Communist Party of China and the guidance of Marxist-Leninism and Mao Zedong thought, and by upholding truth, correcting errors, and overcoming numerous difficulties and hardships. China will stay in the primary stage of socialism for a long period of time. The basic task of the nation is to concentrate its efforts on socialist modernization along the road of Chinese-style socialism. Under the leadership of the Communist Party of China and the guidance of Marxism-Leninism, Mao Zedong thought, Deng Xiaopao theory, and the important theory of three represents, the Chinese people of all nationalities will continue to adhere to the People's Democratic Dictatorship, follow the socialist road, persist in reform, and opening up steadily improve socialist institutions, develop a socialist market economy, advance socialist democracy, improve the socialist legal system, and work hard and self-reliantly to modernize industry, agriculture, national defense, and science and technology step by step, promote the coordinated development of the material, political, and spiritual civilizations to turn China into a powerful and prosperous socialist country with a high level of culture and democracy. The exploiting classes, as such, have been eliminated in our country. However, class struggle will continue to exist within certain limits for a long time to come. The Chinese people must fight against these forces and elements both at home and abroad that are hostile to China's socialist system and try to undermine it. Taiwan is part of the sacred territory of the People's Republic of China. It is a lofty duty of the entire Chinese people, including our compatriots in Taiwan, to accomplish the great task of reunifying the motherland. In building socialism, it is imperative to rely on the workers, peasants, and intellectuals and unite with all the forces that can be united. In the long years of revolution and construction, there has been formed under the leadership of the Communist Party of China a broad, patriotic, united front that is composed of democratic parties and people's organizations and embraces all socialist working people. All builders of socialism, all patriots who support socialism, and all patriots who stand for reunification of the motherland. This united front will continue to be consolidated and developed. The Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference is a broadly representative organization of the United Front, which has played a significant historical role and will continue to do so in the political and social life of the country, in promoting friendship with the people of other countries, and in the struggle of the socialist modernization and for the reunification and unity of the country. The system of multi-party cooperation and political consultation led by the Communist Party of China will exist and develop in China for a long time to come. The People's Republic of China is a unitary multinational state built up jointly by the people of all of its nationalities. Socialist relations of equality, unit, and mutual assistance has been established among them and will continue to be strengthened in the struggle to safeguard the unity of nationalities. It is necessary to combat big nation chauvinism, mainly Han chauvinism, and also necessary to combat local national chauvinism. The state does its utmost to promote the common prosperity of all nationalities in the country. China's achievement in the revolution and construction are inseparable from the support by the people of the world. The future of China is closely linked with that of the whole world. China adheres to an independent foreign policy as well as the first principles of mutual respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity, mutual non-aggression, non-interference in each other's internal affairs, equality, and mutual benefit, and peaceful coexistence in developing diplomatic relations and economic and cultural exchanges with other countries. China consistently opposes imperialism, hegemonism, and colonialism, works to strengthen unity with the people of other countries, supports the oppressed nations and the developing countries in their just struggle to win and preserve national independence and develop their national economies and strive to safeguard world peace and promote the cause of human progress. This constitution affirms the achievements of the struggles of the Chinese people of all nationalities and defines the basic system and basic tasks of the state in legal form. It is a fundamental law of the state and has supreme legal authority. The people of all nationalities, all state organs, the armed forces, all political parties and public organizations, and all enterprises and undertakings in the country must take the Constitution as the basic norm of conduct, and they have the duty to uphold the dignity of the Constitution and to ensure its implementation.
My friends, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain a little. Number one, it's free. Two, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you've ever been looking for to make a podcast in one place. Go ahead and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Chapter 1. The General Principles. Article 1. The People's Republic of China is a socialist state under the People's Democratic Dictatorship led by the working class and based on the alliance of workers and peasants. The socialist system is the basic system of the People's Republic of China. Sabotage of the system by any organization or individual is prohibited. Article 2. All power in the People's Republic of China belongs to the people. The organs through which the peoples exercise state power are the National People's Congress and the local people's congresses at different levels. The people administer state affairs and manage economic, cultural, and social affairs through various channels and in various ways and in accordance with the law. Article 3. The state organs of the People's Republic of China apply the principle of democratic centralism. The National People's Congress and the local People's Congress at different levels are instituted through democratic election. They are responsible to the people and the subject to their supervision. All administrative, judicial, and procurial organs of the state are created by the People's Congresses to which they are responsible and under whose supervision they operate. The division of functions and powers between the central and local state organs is guided by the principle of giving full play to the initiative and enthusiasm of the local authorities under the unified leadership of the central authorities. Article 4. All nationalities in the People's Republic of China are equal. The state protects the lawful rights and interests of the majority and the minority nationalities and upholds and develops the relationship of equality, unity, and mutual assistance among all of China's nationalities. Discrimination against and oppression of any nationality are prohibited. Any acts that undermine the unity of the nationalities or instigate their secession are prohibited. The state helps the areas inhabited by minority nationalities speed up their economic and cultural development in accordance with the peculiarities and needs of the different minority nationalities. Regional autonomy is practiced in areas where people of minority nationalities live in compact communities. In these areas, organs of self-government are established for the exercise of the right of autonomy. All of the national autonomous areas are inalienable parts of the People's Republic of China. The people of all nationalities have the freedom to use and develop their own spoken and written languages, to preserve or reform their own ways and customs. Article 5. The People's Republic of China exercises power in accordance with the law and establishes a socialist country under the rule of law. The state upholds the uniformity and dignity of the socialist legal system. No law or administrative or local rules and regulations shall contravene the Constitution. All state organs, the armed forces, all political parties and public organizations, and all enterprises and undertakings must abide by the Constitution and the law. All acts in violation of the Constitution and the law must be investigated. No organization or individual may enjoy the privilege of being above the Constitution and the law. Article 6. The basis of the socialist economic system of the People's Republic of China is socialist public ownership of the means of production, namely, ownership by the whole people and collective ownership by the working people. The system of the socialist public ownership supersedes the system of exploitation of man by man. It applies the principles of from each according to his ability to each according to his work. During the primary stage of socialism, the state adheres to the basic economic system with the public ownership remaining dominant and diverse sectors of the economy developing side by side, and to the distribution system with the distribution according to the work remaining dominant and the coexistence of a variety of modes of distribution. Article 7. The state-owned economy, that is the socialist economy, under ownership by the whole people, is the leading force in the national economy. The state ensures the consolidation and growth of the state-owned economy. Article 8. Rural collective economic organizations practice a double-tier management system that combines unified and separate operations on the basis of the household-based output-related contracted responsibility system. Various forms of the cooperative economy in rural systems, such as producers, supply and marketing, credit and consumers, cooperatives, belong to the sector of the socialist economy under collective ownership by the working people. Working people who are members of rural economic collectives have the right, within the limits prescribed by law, to farm plots of cropland and hilly land allotted for private use, engage in household sideline production, and raise privately owned livestock. The various forms of cooperative economy in the cities and towns, such as those in the handicraft, industrial, building, transport, commercial, and service trades, all belong to the sector of socialist economy under collective ownership by the working people. The state protects the lawful rights and interests of the urban and rural economic collectives and encourages, guides, and helps the growth of the collective economy. Article 9. Mineral resources, water, forests, mountain, grassland, unreclaimed land, beaches, and other natural resources are owned by the state, that is, by the whole people, with the exception of the forests, mountain, grassland, unreclaimed land, and beaches that are owned by collectives in accordance with the law. The state ensures the rational use of natural resources and protects rare animals and plants. The appropriation or damage of natural resources by any organization or individual by whatever means is prohibited. Article 10. Land in the cities is owned by the state. Land in the rural and suburban areas is owned by collectives, except for those portions which belong to the state in accordance with the law. House sites and private plots are cropland and hilly lands are also owned by collectives. The state may, in the public interest and in accordance with the provisions of law, expropriate or requisition land for its use and shall make compensation for the land expropriated or requisitioned. No organization or individual may appropriate, buy, sell, or otherwise engage in the transfer of land by unlawful means. The right to use the land may be transferred according to law. All organizations and individuals who use land must make rational use of the land. Article 11. Individual, private, and other non-public economies that exist within the limits prescribed by law are major components of the socialist market economy. The state protects the lawful rights and interests of the non-public sectors of the economy, such as individual and private sectors of the economy. The state encourages, supports, and guides the development of the non-public sectors of the economy and, in accordance with the law, exercises supervision and control over the non-public sectors of the economy. Article 12. Socialist public property is sacred and inviolable. The state protects socialist public property. Appropriation or damage of state or collective property by any organization or individual by whatever means is prohibited. Article 13. Citizens' lawful private property is inviolable. The state, in accordance with the law, protects the rights of citizens to private property and to its inheritance. The state may, in the public interest and in accordance with law, expropriate or requisition private property for its use, and shall make fair compensation for the private property expropriated or requisitioned. Your journey to financial fitness begins with just one step. It can seem daunting to get all your financial ducks in a row, but the beauty of any journey is that it doesn't happen all at once. Step by step, goal by goal, do that next good thing by putting financial protection in place with life insurance. Then, no matter what happens in your financial or life journey, your loved ones will be okay financially. Take that first step today. Click on the link below and schedule an appointment with me. I can help. Article 14. The state continuously raises labor productivity, improves economic results, and develops the productive forces by enhancing the enthusiasm of the working people, raising the level of their technical skill, disseminating advanced science and technology, improving the systems of economic administration and enterprise operations and management, instituting the socialist system of responsibility in various forms, and improving organization of work. The state practices strict economy and combats waste. The state properly appropriates accumulation and consumption, pays attention to the interests of the collective and the individual as well as of the state, and on the basis of the expanded production, gradually improves the material and cultural life of the people. The state establishes a social security system compatible with the level of the economic development. Article 15. The state has put into practice a socialist market economy. The state strengthens the formulations of the economic laws, improves macro adjustment and control, and forbids, according to law, any units or individuals from interfering with the social economic order. Article 16. State-owned enterprises have decision-making power and operating and management within the limits of prescribed law. State-owned enterprises practice democratic management through congresses of workers and staff and in other ways in accordance with the law. Article 17. Collective economic organizations have decision-making power in conducting independent economic activities on condition that they abide by the relevant laws. Collective economic organizations practice democratic management, elect or remove their managerial personnel, and decide on major issues concerning operation and management according to law. Article 18. The People's Republic of China permits foreign enterprise, other foreign economic organizations, and individual foreigners to invest in China and to enter into various forms of economic cooperation with Chinese enterprises and other economic organizations in accordance with the law of the People's Republic of China. All foreign enterprises and other foreign economic organizations in China, as well as joint ventures with China and foreign investment located in China, shall abide by the law of the People's Republic of China. Their lawful rights and interests are protected by the law of the People's Republic of China. Article 19. The state develops socialist educational undertakings and works to raise the scientific, cultural level of the whole nation. The state runs schools of various types, makes primary education compulsory and universal, develops secondary, vocational, and higher education, and promotes preschool education. The state develops educational facilities of various types in order to wipe out illiteracy and provide political, cultural, scientific, technical, and professional education for workers, peasants, state functionaries, and other working people. It encourages people to become educated through self-study. The state encourages the collective economic organizations, state enterprises, and undertakings, and other social forces to set up educational institutions of various types in accordance with the law. The state promotes the nationwide use of Putonga, common speech based on Beijing pronunciation. Article 20. The state promotes the development of natural and social sciences, disseminates scientific and technical knowledge, and commends and rewards achievements in scientific research, as well as technological discoveries and inventions. Article 21. The state develops medical and health services, promotes modern medicine and traditional Chinese medicine, encourages and supports the setting up of various medical and health facilities by rural economic collectives, state enterprises and undertakings, and neighborhood organizations, and promotes sanitation activities of a mass character, all to protect the people's health. The state develops physical culture and promotes mass sports activities to build up the people's physique. Article 22. The state promotes the development of literature and arts, the press, broadcasting and television undertakings, publishing and distribution services, libraries, museums, and cultural centers, and other cultural undertakings that serve the people and socialism and sponsor mass cultural activities. The state protects places of scenic and historical interest, valuable cultural monuments and relics, and other important items of China's historical and cultural heritage. The state trains specialized personnel in all fields who serve socialism, increases the number of intellectuals, and creates conditions to give full scope to their role in a socialist modernization. Article 24. The state strengthens the building of socialist spiritual civilization through spreading education in high ideals and morality, general education, education and discipline, and the legal system, and through promoting the formulation and observance of rules of conduct and common pledges by different sections of the people in urban and rural areas. The state advocates the civic virtues of love for the motherland, for the people, for labor, for science, and for socialism. It educates the people in patriotism, collectivism, internationalism, and communism, and in dialectical and historical materialism. It combats the decadent ideas of capitalism and feudalism and other decadent ideas. Article 25. The state promotes family planning so that population growth may fit the plans of the economic and social development. Article 26. The state protects and improves the living environment and the ecological environment and prevents and controls pollution and other public hazards. The state organizes and encourages forestation and protection of forests. Article 27. All state organs carry out the principle of simple and efficient administration, the system of responsibility for work, and the system for training functionaries and assessing their work in order to constantly improve work of quality and efficiency and to combat bureaucratism. All state organs and functionaries must rely on the support of the people, keep in close touch with them, heed their opinions and suggestions, accept their supervision, and work hard to serve them. Article 28. The state maintains public order and suppresses treasonable and other criminal activities that endanger state security. It penalizes actions that endanger public security and disrupt the socialist economy and other criminal activities, and punishes and reforms criminals. The armed forces of the People's Republic of China belong to the people. Their tasks are to strengthen national defense, resist aggression, defend the motherland, safeguard the people's peaceful labor, participate in national reconstruction, and work hard to serve the people. The state strengthens the revolution, modernization, and regularization of the armed forces in order to increase the national defense capability. Article 30. The administrative division of the People's Republic of China is as follows. The country is divided into provinces, autonomous regions, and municipalities directly under the central government. Provinces and autonomous regions are divided into autonomous prefectures, counties, autonomous counties, and cities. Counties and autonomous counties are divided into townships, nationality townships, and towns. Municipalities directly under the central government and other large cities are divided into districts and counties. Autonomous prefectures are divided into counties, autonomous counties, and cities. All autonomous regions, autonomous prefectures, and autonomous counties are national autonomous areas. Article 31. The state may establish special administrative regions when necessary. The system to be instituted in special administrative regions shall be prescribed by law enacted by the National People's Congress in the light of the specific conditions. Article 32. The People's Republic of China protects the lawful rights and interests of foreigners within Chinese territory, and while on Chinese territory, foreigners must abide by the laws of the People's Republic of China. The People's Republic